Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Welcome to this lesson on arpeggios. We're going to be covering minor triads in this lesson. There's a PDF that goes along with this. You can look at the YouTube description down below. Make sure you have that PDF downloaded. It's all free. Download it in front of you as we're learning here together. Now, we did a previous session on major arpeggios, major triad, three-note arpeggios. We're going to eventually be getting to four-note jazz arpeggios, but right now we're switch gears and go to minor triads. So we're going to talk about they are based off of the root, and where's the root at? Well, we're going to do it with a root that starts on the 6th string. We're going to start off with roots on the 6th string, and as I play an arpeggio, really I use my first finger to play a minor arpeggio. I can use my second finger, and I can use my pinky. I don't really use my third finger too much as far as doing minor triad arpeggios on guitar. So I mainly am pivoting off of the root with my first finger, my second finger, or my fourth. So let's take a look at the first finger ones to get us started off with. So if you look at the PDF, if you look at page 7, that's where the minor triad arpeggios start. So take a look at that. Let's look at this first one. How I have these lined out is I give you a simple three-note version of it, and then I give you an expanded triad arpeggio as well that can take you further up the neck. So let's look at the first one here. Remember, the diamond is indicating that's the root of the arpeggio. So there's roots, on various strings, but we're going to be focusing off of the roots on the 6th string. So look at this first one, middle of page 7. I've got a little triad here, C, E flat, and G. 1, 4th finger, and then 3rd finger. 1st finger, 4th finger, 3rd finger. There you go. The root that I'm pivoting off of is this first finger. If I wanted to do it, let's say an A, I'd have to move this down to where my first finger's on the A, and then I do it there. Now, if I wanted to expand that out, look at the very bottom of page 7, and I have an expanded version of this. So I would go first finger, 4th finger, 3rd finger, then roll down with my 3rd finger, and then I'm just going to roll with my first finger over the 3rd, the 2nd, and 1st string up to the high E flat there. So if I put that all together, and I'm kind of doing a down, picking all the way down as much as I can, and then I'm doing a sweep picking coming back. So as I'm going through the strings, I'm just using one down motion as I'm coming back, until I have to do a downstroke again. So if I played that arpeggio in just like maybe 8th notes, and that's an arpeggio with your first finger on the 6th string as a root. Now I'm going to give you 6 different ways to play that, and that's pretty much going to be just about every way that you can play an arpeggio on guitar, at least the ones that are the most useful for you. So take a look at page 8. I'm going to still stay with my first finger as the root, but I'm going to switch and do a larger arpeggio to where I have to shift up. So take a look at the top of page 8. I have my first finger on the C, 2nd finger is going to shift up here to the 11th fret and catch the E flat there. C, E flat, and G. Those are the 3 notes in a C minor triad, C, E flat, and G. So even as we're doing this big long arpeggio, we're never playing anything else other than a C, E flat, and a G. So, but on this one, I can go a little bit further by jumping position. So I hit that C there, then I jump up with my 2nd finger, and I catch the E flat, and then roll down with my first finger, G, C. 3rd finger's going to reach over, so now I'm in the, the 11th position. 3rd finger, 2nd finger, pinky, 1st finger, and then way up to the high G there. So I'm actually getting 2.5 octaves out of this arpeggio. There you go, a C minor arpeggio. You start off in the 8th position. I switch up here to the 10th position and catch the E flat. and I go way up to this high G. Stretch out there with your pinky to catch that high G. There you go. Remember, if I wanted to do it in A, all I have to do is put my root down here and then jump from there. There you go. All right, so that's the first finger ones on the 6th string. Let's take a look at the next one. Middle of page 8 now. Let's do it the smaller triad, but we're going to start with our 2nd finger. So I have to do a little bit of a stretch. 2 is now going to be on the C. 1st finger is going to go reach back, and then you got to reach way over with the 5th with your 4th finger. The reason I'm doing these 2-string kind of 3-note ones is coming. That's going to be next week. We're going to put all of those together, and we're going to do some amazing things with those. So it's important that we learn the smaller ones too. I've got the notation there, I've got the tab there too, and the finger numbers. Remember, the finger numbers are the numbers with the circle around them. Those are indicating your finger, what fingers you're to use. And so the expanded version of this one would be 2nd finger, 1st finger, and then you can use 4th finger, 4th finger. You can use 3rd finger, 3rd finger. I kind of have written it both ways. You know, in the chord block, I'm using my 4th finger. In the tab, I'm using my 3rd finger. So either way, for me, I think probably the 3rd finger ends up being a little bit more useful to me. You just have to have this big jump back there to the E flat. So let's talk through it. 2nd finger on the C, 1st finger on the E flat, 3rd or 4th finger up here at the G. Then you can roll down either 4th finger or the 3rd finger, and then I'm doing my 1st finger down again, and then I'm able to grab this high E flat with my pinky there. A very useful arpeggio there. There you go. If I wanted to do it in B, there you go. All right, so that is that one. Take a look at the very bottom of page 8. Now we've done one with the 1st finger. We did 2 of them actually with the 1st finger. We did one of them with the 2nd finger. Now let's look at one with our 4th finger. If I use my pinky on this C minor triad, well then that puts me here in the 5th position. So now my root is with my 4th finger there, and I'm just going to go 4th finger, 2nd finger, then roll this 1st finger back down. I know it seems like there's a ton of notes, and especially when you're learning, it seems like, oh my goodness, there's just so many different forms and stuff like that. Once you do this a few days, a week or two, you kind of see that there's not really that many. There's only like 6. And we're just keep running over the same patterns over and over again, so it's not like we're having to learn a bunch of new stuff. So it's not as complicated initially as you might think. So just kind of dig into the material. Too often we'll get into material and we'll just turn it off just because it looks hard within the first 5 minutes. We don't realize if we just practice that for a few times through, we'll have it. So, all right, so if I did it with my 4th finger, bottom of page 8, that one's pretty straightforward. Flip over to page 9. What do we have there? Here, I'm going to extend it out again. And we still have those 3 strings barred, but this time I'm going to have to play it with my 4th finger. So if I add that to our lower triad, top of page 9 now. Pinky, pinky, pinky. Just bar that. Notice in the little chord block diagram I've got a little arc there. That's to tell you that you're supposed to bar that. And experiment around with different picking to see which picking works best for you. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it. You want to find the way that works for you. There you go. All All right, so those are all the ones that you're going to find, or that I find the most useful on the 6th string. Now, there's a few on the 5th string, so let's take a look at those as well. All right, so we've got to go to the 5th string root ones. Okay, this is page 9, middle of page 9. And I thought I'd switch to the key of F minor just to kind of give us some different notes that we're messing around with. So look at that first one, middle of page 9. I've got first finger, here's the F. Again, I'm going to do them with my first finger, my second finger, and my 4th finger. We're going to start with the ones on the first finger. First, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 1st. Hey, that's the same form as the 6th string. You'll notice if I do a 2-string arpeggio on the 6th string or the 5th string, it's the same finger pattern. There you go. All right, so that's the simple one. Look at the bottom of page 9. Remember, the roots are with the diamond, so I'm going to start with the root. 3rd finger, 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger, then way up with your pinky. So what is that? I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frets. Oh my goodness. Now, you don't have to do that. It's just a helpful way to do that, to always end on the root there. Now, as I'm going down the neck, of course, that jump is going to get bigger and bigger. So it works a little bit easier when I'm kind of on the upper half of the neck. First finger, 4th finger, 3rd finger, 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger, and then big stretch out here to the high F there. Again, I'm trying to sweep pick down when I do these down string ones, and they're all on adjacent strings. So like here, it's 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, 5th string, and then I can finally spin out of it there. Now, if you wanted to add the low C underneath that F, you just go down to the 6th string as well. So if I did it all the way up and down, there you go. There you go. So that's the 1st string one, or 1st finger one. Flip over to page 10. Let's take a look at the 2nd finger one. 2nd finger one. So what do we have here? I've got my 2nd finger now on this F, and I'm going to be 2nd finger, 1st finger, and then big stretch out to with our 4th finger. Remember, it's the same as it was with the 2nd finger on the 6th string. Same finger pattern. Again, new notes, yes. New finger pattern, no. It's the same finger pattern as it was. If I expand that out, look at the middle of page 10. 2nd finger, 1st finger. Now here, instead of going 4th, I go 3rd. It just seems to work a little bit easier for me. 2nd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger jump up here. So now what am I? I guess I would be in the 8th position right there. I didn't write that in, but that would be 2nd finger, 1st finger, big stretch. 1st finger, 2nd finger. Do you see how this is always, in every one we've done so far, on the 5th string, it's ended the same way. 3rd finger, 2nd finger, 1st finger, stretch. So the only awkward thing is that big stretch from 3rd back down to 1st right there. Now, are these like the only way you can do arpeggios? No. No, they're not the only way, but it's just a really helpful way to do arpeggios on guitar. Are arpeggios the only thing that you need to learn? No. Tons of things you need to learn. It's just another tool in your toolbox of playing guitar, of things you can use. If I have a chord that I want to cover for a long period of time, I can use these arpeggios to start to expand an idea. What if I'm soloing? made this huge idea out of basically the same arpeggio. So that's kind of the advantage of them. Look at the bottom of page 10. If I did it with my fourth finger, I've got my fourth finger with the F, then second finger on the A flat, first finger on the C, A flat, and F. Remember, just as you're kind of looking at the music there, flats and sharps, but we're not really in sharps right now, but flats, anytime you put an accidental on a note, it carries through for the rest of the measure. So like even in the bottom of page 10 there, I have an F, and then I have an A flat, then I have a C, and then I have this A, but it's still flatted from the previous A. So once something is flatted, then every note of the same name after it, until you hit the bar line, is going to be flatted as well. It doesn't need to have another little flat sign by it. Just one of the little quirky things of how music works. So that's why you see flats at the beginning of the measure, and then they just continue on for the rest of the measure. So that's the one with the fourth finger. Take a look at page 11. Let's expand this one out, and I want to talk to you about this one for a little bit. Just look at the little chord block there at the very upper left-hand corner of page 11. You'll notice how it looks like there's kind of just two different sets of three notes. I've got this first one, and then I've got this one. Once you start seeing arpeggios as little clusters of notes that you are able to jump to and then play that cluster and then jump to the next one and play that cluster, that's where it starts to really pay off. So you're not really, I want you to think of them, of course, as their notes, an F, an A flat, and a C, but I want you to really also pay attention to the finger pattern, the shape that you're playing. Fourth finger, second finger, first finger, third finger, second finger, first finger. This shape, and then this shape. These little triads are all over the guitar. So once you get an idea of these patterns and these little clusters of notes, then you can start linking them together. We did a series a while back on triads, chord triads, and now we're kind of breaking those chords apart. But these two series, arpeggios and those triads, are very closely linked. So you may want to go back and kind of look at that material too. It's all free, it's all on YouTube. It's one of our playlists there. So let's take a look at top of page 11. I've got 4, 2, 1, then I jump 3, 2, 1. Then backwards, 1, 2, 3, jump down, 1, 2, 4. I can keep going down if I wanted to. Okay, those are the ones that are the most helpful for me. We did them on the sixth string. We did them with our first finger, second finger, and fourth finger, first finger. We did this alternate one with the first finger. We did them with our second finger. We did them with our pinky. We did them with the fifth string first finger. We did them with our fifth string second finger. Actually, I don't think we went up to that high one after that. We did them with our fifth string pinky. You can start to combine these and make larger ideas out of them. There you go. I gave you some practice tips on how to practice to get these patterns down, and that's in the bottom of page 11 and 12 there of just the order that I would suggest you practice these. It's great material. Go through it, get these underneath your fingers, and start to incorporate those in your playing, and you'll be able to kind of expand on ideas when you see a chord rather than just jump to the standard things that you would normally play. It's all about adding another little trick here, a little bit trick there that you can add to your playing. Hey, I'm Steve Krenz for Guitar Gathering. Thanks for keeping up with us. We got more stuff to do next time. Keep working at it. You'll get it.